What's up, everybody? My name is TheLostScout, and as you can see, we're in a car, and I have a friend here.
Hey.
We just saw Rogue One. Amazing movie. This is definitely going to have spoilers, but later on, so if you don't want spoilers, stick around for the first half of this video. Second half of this video, you probably want to leave. So you ready to get into this? What were your thoughts on the movie?
I thought the ending, like maybe last 30-40 minutes, was really good. It was like one of the best
times of ever.
Best
movie ending I think I've seen.
I was gonna say best Star Wars
ending of any Star Wars.
I won't go that. Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, Luke. I am your father. You can't top that. I'm sorry.
No, but the last 30 minutes of this,
it was the movie.
Yeah, it saves because the movie itself is just like the first part of it is
first
and probably part of the second act too.
So first and half of second.
Yeah,
the first act and half of the second act.
Yeah,
it was slow to start, but the moment the movie picks up speed is when Vader first gets introduced, and that's when everything comes full circle and it makes more sense. By the way, these are the IMAX 3D glasses. They look like Stormtrooper things. Look, I'm a Stormtrooper now. I'm gonna shoot you eventually. Anyways.
Okay. What was I saying?
Something about how the first act and the second act.
So the first part of it is basically you get introduced to the characters. The characters are wandering around.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of stakes. You don't really care about people that much. But it's okay. It's passable.
Yeah.
And and we finally get 2 Asian guys in the Star Wars universe.
Asians! oh boy, that's like 3 black people in a Star Wars movie.
So there's maybe 3 black people in the Star Wars universe.
No, now when you look into it, there was multiple.
Okay.
There were so many black guys in this movie.
Okay.
A lot of them good looking too. No, I'm kidding. I mean, they are probably good looking.
You're not kidding, but he's not kidding. But okay.
Shut up. Anyways, back onto the whole point of the video.
Okay, so there's Jin, the main character.
I think that's her name at least.
Jin, and you won't remember anyone's name from
that. Yeah, we just came out and we don't even know their names.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, you didn't feel cheated from this movie, even if you don't remember the character's name. They all die anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter on what their name is at this point.
Also, none of them have a name that a normal human would have. So,
yeah.
So that doesn't help at all.
So this is what to quote one of the admirals from the Rebel Alliance, they're all now known as Rogue One.
Okay.
So anytime we'll talk about it, we'll go Rogue One, the girl, Rogue One, the guy, Rogue One, the Asian blind one, or something. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But by the time that they're preparing for the climax, you feel like the characters have earned
development.
Yeah, they've earned their development. They've earned enough for you to care about what they're about to do.
Oh yeah.
And so it's kind of it's definitely passable getting to that point.
Oh, yeah.
But once it hits stride hard.
Oh yeah, no. It went from being like alright, we're a regular movie to boom. Just take our shit, enjoy it, fuck you, this is what we are now.
Yeah.
It was just out of nowhere. I thought this movie at the beginning was gonna I came in going, alright, I've heard so many mixed reviews. Yeah. I'm gonna stick on the negative side because that's my first thought. And my God, my negative ideal was blown out of the water. I was impressed on every scene.
Yeah.
You could tell each scene had heart into it, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Where the director really tried his hardest to make the movie.
This is a really weird thing, but there's this one character in it. He's probably the main hero to the heroine, and he's like this rebel from when he was a really young kid.
6, I think it was.
From when he was 6.
Yeah.
He's basically dedicated his entire life to the rebellion, and he had like
this emotional scene in one of the with talking to her. He goes like, she goes like, you were gonna kill my father, and he goes, I disobeyed my orders, so no, I didn't. And then
spoiler, by the way.
Oh yeah, spoiler. A little late. But anyways, back to the point. He explains to her about how they do what they do because they want to live in a peaceful galaxy, even if that means they have to kill people, which is kind of obvious, seeing that it's a Star Wars movie. And this was definitely not the most implied death, but one of the most implied deaths. You had a city get destroyed, right? It was a city.
Yeah.
And then
two cities got destroyed in this movie.
Yeah, 2 cities, a base, and then and then there was that giant Star Destroyer double destroyed scene where 2 Star Destroyers with a Hammerhead ship just boom crashed into each other and both fell into the planet. This was definitely more death than most Star Wars films.
Oh yeah.
Except for Episode 7 with the 12 planets being blown up.
This is their attempt to be
edgy,
gritty, but still for kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, still for families, I should say.
Yeah,
that'd be the better thing.
Yeah. All right, now we're hitting spoilers. So spoiler alert: if you want to leave, you got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 1. All right, here we are. So, getting into like the actual dissection of this movie, the whole plot itself is, hey, look, there's this guy who's a scientist. We need him. Okay, there's his daughter who needs to run for some reason. Okay, so now she's hidden. Now this black guy finds her. Okay, now she's a prisoner. Like, what? That was just like a quick 5 minutes of what the hell. And you don't actually get to see a real movie until, I'd say, probably the 20-minute mark-ish.
Yeah.
That's when the movie really, like, hits you, where it's a movie, and that's when character development truly starts.
Yeah.
With the most favorite line I think I've ever heard. Congratulations, you're being rescued.
Yeah.
Please don't resist.
I don't know if we've said this yet, but that robot, he was amazing.
He was the funniest thing of the movie.
I told Drew he's my favorite robot character in Star Wars. I know that I'm not the first person to say that.
Hopefully you're not. Now you're gonna get like a hate audience of, how could you like that?
No, he was great. He was. Imagine if
his death scene was like, I actually felt bad about his death scene.
Yeah. No, he was honestly, I didn't care about the other ones. I didn't. I mean, because like he was deformed by the time he actually died.
Yeah.
He was just like taking.
Like, he was shot after shot after shot. He just kept doing what he was doing. He was like, all right, you gotta do this. Oh God, why am I doing this? I could easily give up. Nope. Do this. Okay, I'm going down.
Yeah,
you got this. I'm locking the system. Figure it out.
And then everyone else seemed kind of like heroic and stoic about their deaths.
Where he was just like, doing my normal thing while I die. You know, I'm trying to do my shit.
Where I wish there was a bigger sense of desperation in those deaths. In a sense
in
of
deaths.
Yeah, because
the final death was terrible, where they're sitting on the beach and they fight each other,
and then they're consumed by like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cliche.
It was cliche, but I mean it worked. And I think it would have made more sense if they were running from it, like they saw it and they go, oh shit, grab each other's hands and start running.
Well, you can't run from like a nuclear explosion, which is what that basically was.
No, but you asked for desperation, and that would be a last-ditch effort.
Okay.
And like, that's what I would have expected from the heroes who just sent the fucking Death Star plans. And by the way, fun fact, there were so many references to the old movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Like early on,
it's really built into those old movies.
Oh yeah, early on you had the one scene where the girl bumps into the person who got his arm cut off in episode 4 in the bar. Remember? Who is picking a fight, and they literally go like, "Watch yourself," and then they walk away from him. And then you meet the 2 Asians, the blind one, the blind one,
not blonde,
the blind one, who, oh my God, for a blind man, he's very able to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's like
this epic,
like a
fighter.
mystical, the sort of mystical monk stereotype. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's him.
or the blind fighter stereotype.
He had so many cool moments throughout the movie. I think my favorite though was when they were at the base where they were gonna kill the girl's father.
Yeah.
But the guy didn't go back, and then because a bunch of starships came in, they sent a bunch of TIE fighters out, and he shot one down with a blaster that looked like a crossbow blaster.
I'm not gonna lie, that was really awesome.
It was the coolest thing.
Because I think they set it up like usually blasters are like supposed to be just like
weak.
supposed to be relatively weak, compared to like the
they're only supposed to
ships.
kill one person, not take down a fleet.
They're for like, and then he like takes one down and just like it just like falls down in the smoking wreckage.
It was so cool.
I usually don't like
those scenes, but this was one of those times where I'll let it pass, because if that was a regular guy, it's just like, oh, okay, he's taking down a ship. But this guy was blind, which really saved that.
But now that I think about it, why didn't he use it earlier? He could totally have used that early in the movie.
Instead of doing that fucking hand-to-hand shit, he could have been like, bitch, what the fuck you say to me? Bam, bam, bam.
He was just trying to show off.
Yeah. But no, this was definitely by far one of my favorite movies of the year. And seeing how the year's about to come to an end, I hope you guys enjoyed 2016 as much as I did. A lot of you probably hate 2016, but this was definitely
That's what they're all saying.
like they're probably all typing on the keyboards. How could you like 2016? 2016 worst year.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, how there's some floors that since 13 is an unlucky number, they just skip it. It's a 12 to 14.
Yeah, now it's gonna be like 2015, 2017.
Yeah.
What about 2016? We don't talk about that.
It doesn't. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, unlike other people, I'm more on the side of 2016 was just like any other year in my opinion. I think overall 2016 was a fine year, but back onto the movie. This movie definitely, if I had to rate every movie I saw in 2016, I'd give this one the highest rating of all the movies I've seen.
I haven't seen a lot of movies this year, but so I don't know.
You and I did see Civil War together.
We did. That was a good movie, though.
That was a good movie, but I don't know. I think it could have been way better.
You think so?
I think if they had actually killed the black guy in the suit instead of just having him be a cripple.
Oh, what's his, I feel bad. War Machine. That's
War Machine. Yeah, if they'd killed him, then I would have been like, yeah, that is the movie of the year. Rogue One couldn't top that. But actually, I disagree.
I felt the same way about this movie. Add this out if I'm repeating myself.
Yeah, that's fine.
But okay. So when I went into not Civil War, but Rogue One, I was told that Darth Vader had a really cool scene where he killed a bunch of people. And I thought that that meant that he was gonna kill all the main characters.
Everyone.
Yeah.
That would have been way better the way they Darth Vader's on the base, he kills everyone, and then he goes back up to his ship and then does the other thing.
Yeah.
After they had officially sent the data plans.
I agree.
That would have been a way better ending. Because then it would really show the desperate struggle of the rebellion.
I thought that they were that all the different people were just struggling to keep buy time in their different way, and the main character Jin is running to do whatever she needs to do to get the plan sent.
And it would have been so much cooler if Darth Vader was right behind her.
Yeah, and honestly, the ending wasn't bad, but. Honestly, and the villain in this movie, I didn't like too much.
The villain was okay. I think that I
feel like he's just the arrogant bureaucrat,
yeah, who's but he did have a lot of good funny scenes. Oh, he blind? What the fuck? There's just giant explosions right there. Send people, dumbasses.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. They're watching the explosion with this big convenient window. You were saying something about that in the movie.
It's I said to Drew, I love how they have all these like giant windows in the spaceship. So if like one window broke, would like all the air in the ship be sucked out? I don't know.
Like, why would you have such big windows? But like, apparently there's this giant convenient window where they can see all the explosions and shit, and he's just sitting there going like, "Are we fucking blind? You see this, right? Fucking send the garrison, send everybody."
But I felt like there were times when he was a little bit too arrogant. Like when he was like talking to Darth Vader, I wanted him to be a little bit like
more like oh boy, I can't fuck up.
Because he was like talking back to Vader, like, no, it was me. I did all this. No, I was like, shut up.
You're talking to the one and only Darth Vader,
yeah,
who has been known to kill his own generals just for fun.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
Why
would you even think about talking back?
Though I did really love the that part where it's like he's like, don't choke on your ambitions, and it turns back. And he's just
force choking.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
Because like most of the time when you force choke someone,
you have to be looking at him.
Yeah,
but no, Vader's just so good at what he does. He's just like the guys behind him going like, and he's just sitting there looking away from him, just doing this.
Also,
it was so cool.
Also, a lot of the times it seems almost like a brute strength thing, like you're strangling someone in mid-air.
Yeah.
And then with him, it was almost like
on the ground begging for his life as he's being choked. And like you saw the force choke be applied again, and it wasn't like that. He was just choking him up in the air and threw him back. And it's like that was cool, but I felt more like real when it was just one-on-one. Like he's choking him while he isn't looking, and the guy goes like, so am I still in charge? And then he starts choking him. He goes, and you hear the stare. You remember how it started to do the choking sound? The sound? They did that. They brought that back, and that was really cool to see that they actually brought it back. That really was cool. I was glad to see that. Oh my god. But you know, that was really fun to watch. It was
definitely.
It was a bumpy movie to start, but it smoothed out in the end, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely picked up the pace, and definitely it felt like
real.
Not really, it's Star Wars.
Well, realer than most Star Wars films.
True.
Like you felt like you could have been there. Like there were so many scenes where I felt like I could be in that scene doing what they were doing.
You can like force choke someone or like.
All right, there was a bit of an editing problem, but we're back.
Okay.
As we were saying, this movie was a bumpy ride at the beginning in the first 10, 20 minutes, would you say?
Yeah.
It was bumpy at first, but it really smoothed itself out. I know I'm repeating, and it was worth going to see in the end.
Yeah.
Like,
I would definitely recommend it, especially.
Oh yeah. 10 out of 10.
Especially if you're a Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah, big time. Like I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. And seeing this movie, I was just like, yes, yes.
Actually, I want to make the point. I feel like all of the other Star Wars movies have to appeal to like a broad audience, but this one felt like
you specifically
Well, yeah, but this one felt specifically for the Star Wars fans to me.
Yeah, and then like I said, you also feel like you could be in a scene. Like the scene when the guy was going, I'm going for it. You could almost feel like for a minute, yeah, I would do that. But then he instantly dies. That was funny.
That brings up. I was telling you about this earlier. One of the things I don't like about Star Wars in general is that you feel like it's so easy to change the universe that it's not even that big of a deal. Like, cause like all of the main characters, there's Princess Leia, who's like one of the biggest leaders in the world,
and she's also dead IRL. Yeah.
Well, that kind of is a bummer. But yeah. But Star Wars. So you have Luke, who's Last Jedi. You have Han, who becomes like a leader of a fleet. So it's so easy to become to get into like a high position that you don't get any sense of anything else.
Yeah.
So in this, it's like you're there with the ground troops,
And like, there's no force or anything up until the very end
Yeah.
when Darth Vader comes. So it's literally blaster versus blaster, like
Yeah.
you versus you. And like, this is probably the key moment of the war, getting those plans.
Mhm.
And that was by far the biggest part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that whole thing really made the movie in the end.
I was really doubtful with the idea of no Jedi, no Force, no lightsabers, just
ground troops.
Yeah, just
basically.
ground. And I was like, well, then what? Why is it? Then how is this Star Wars? How is this not any other sci-fi story? And I was really proven wrong here.
Oh yeah, big time. I thought going in that it was going to be terrible because you didn't have, all you have is Vader, who gives probably one of the most villainous atmospheres of ever, and that was it. The only Force user at the time. And even then, you only see it for a tiny bit, and you only see his lightsaber at the very end when he basically steps in from the shadows, and then you see a red light glow, and then you see him, and then you have all these rebels who are like, oh god, oh god, oh god, fuck, help us! They're trapped. And then, like, you have the last guy literally give the plans to a guy who starts running into the final ship, and then they close the doors and they launch off, and Darth Vader steps there and he goes, follow them.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. Like, it was my favorite movie of the year. Hands down, favorite movie. And I've seen a lot of movies this year.
I don't know if I can say it's my favorite movie, but it's, especially since I haven't seen many movies this year, it's definitely up there.
I've seen a lot of the movies this year. I've seen a good portion of them because of my ex. By the way, a lot of them sucked because she's a horror fan, and I saw a lot of horror movies. I saw a lot of action, romance, comedies, But this was definitely, out of all of the good movies that I saw over 2016, this one rises above and destroys any movie. Granted, it could have been better. The way it ended was pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I left with a good feeling.
Yeah, I went in with the negative attitude. He went in with the positive, or I think that's how it was, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I was proven wrong. This was definitely a good movie. I am glad it was a good movie. That's all I have to say. You got any final remarks?
Just like on a more general note, I feel like this sort of gave me a little bit of faith in Disney being in control of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, because Force Awakens
was good.
It was good, but it wasn't great.
It could have been way better.
It could, yeah. It was.
But it proved itself as a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, there's Rogue One. Rogue One, I felt was better. I personally liked it more than Force Awakens.
Big time. I would agree with that because there weren't so many random scenes. Like that scene when they were like waiting on the ship, when they could have easily just, instead of that, done one of the old Star Wars moves. You're in there now, like back to the main plot, instead of adding random dialogue that wasn't needed. But here there were some moments where I thought they should have skipped, but in the end it was a good movie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let them pass. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right, and there was one cool thing about this experience. We got these limited edition tickets because we were one of the first 500 to see it. No, I'm kidding. We were one of the first 500 of the day to probably see it.
Yeah, it's been out for what? A week?
Yeah, somewhere around there. And, I had a friend tell me it was okay, and I sorely have to disagree with him. This was by far a great movie at the end. It could have been a great movie overall, but I think the end really saves the beginning. The beginning was slow, but then again, most Star Wars movies' beginnings are like... Then you just have this increased action as you go. But with this movie, it was more like this. You know? Like, you start off with some action, then it just went back to boring. Some action, boring. Some action, a little bit more action, boring. Some action, some action, some action. All the action, a little bit of break, all the action again. And it was really cool to see that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, overall, what would you give this movie? 10 stars.
Of 10 stars, wow. I mean, I don't know if, I feel like it would be more helpful to give it a description, because I feel like, movies have different things that are good about them, obviously. You wouldn't compare a horror movie to romance, obviously.
Well, I know. I'm just asking you. If you can rate this movie, what would you rate it? Just rate it. That's all you have to do.
If I had to rate it, I would probably give it a 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. I'm going to raise it to an 8. I'd give this movie an 8 out of 10. So 7.5, which would be like I'd go see it again.
Yeah, I'd definitely.
And then I'd definitely go spend the money.
So
to go
I would
see
skip.
it again.
I would skip through the first part.
Oh yeah, I think that would be a 7.5. I liked all of it. I just think that the first part was slow. Mm-hmm. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace. You gonna say goodbye?
Bye.